Hello, welcome back to our channel and welcome to our birth vlog.
This is a whole new chapter, guys. A whole new chapter.
So today is August 12th and 4 days ago on August 8th, so 8/8, I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl in our home. When I thought about doing a birth vlog, I was hoping we would be able to vlog in the moment a lot more. And the reality of what happened, basically, we just need to sit down and chat you through everything because...
It was wild.
It was wild.
Even witnessing, let alone experiencing.
Yeah.
I'm so curious to hear the whole experience from Raya's perspective, but...
Well, a lot of you may have seen our previous birth vlog. This is our second baby. So with our first baby, 2.5 years ago almost, our son, it was a planned C-section because he was breech. And that birth vlog was very different because we knew exactly when it was happening. We had a good night's sleep. We woke up, went in, everything was planned and organized. It was a very different situation. So this time I was 40 plus 4, I think. So 4 days past my due date. I mean, I'd been having Braxton Hicks for ages, but they were starting to feel a little bit more real, I guess, a little bit more like period cramps. And I felt like something was starting to happen, but I've known people that have been in that phase for days, over a week. So I wasn't really thinking it's gonna necessarily happen today. I did, however, book an acupuncture session for the day before, so on the 7th. That was at noon, and when I went in, I asked if she could do things to help induce. Mainly because I didn't want to get so past my due date that I would start to get pressured into getting induced.
Medical induction.
Yeah, I really didn't want the hospital staff to be pressuring me. So I would rather have started kind of doing more natural things to bring the baby if the baby was ready to come. So I had the acupuncture session, but even then I was like, okay, that might start things the next few days. We'll see what happens. And then I'm trying to remember, it's not super clear to me the rest of that day. Do you remember what was happening?
All I know is, and I'm not expecting any sympathy for this because I'm not the one that went through the birth, but I was, for some reason, and I think I shared this in the last vlog, but I have been going 110% trying to get work finished up before the baby comes. And on the 7th, I was so exhausted. I was just I just remember that whole day. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna sleep so well today. I'm gonna sleep so well tonight.
Yeah.
And I just was so shattered. That evening was just a blur because I was just beyond tired.
Basically, from about noon when I had the acupuncture session, before then I'd started having these cramps, but even on the walk there, I had one while I was walking, and I was just ooh, okay, I kind of have to breathe a little bit through it.
Did we do all the painting your belly and stuff on the 7th?
Yeah, my mom is also here. That was a big thing. My mom had arrived a few days before, and I really think that helped me relax into feeling ready for the baby to come. I really think that made a huge difference mentally. But anyway, I remember that I was having to breathe through things. You remember? I remember sitting on the ball downstairs and Neo was trying to climb on me, and I was closing my eyes and having to breathe. But it still felt like this is quite mild and could be days of this. But I also was it also could happen tonight. So there were a few things we wanted to do. We wanted to paint on my tummy, which we did right before the night before my C-section with Neo. And this time Neo joined in, and it was so sweet.
It was so sweet.
We did his handprint on my tummy, and yeah, that was really special. And then we also went out to the backyard and took some last photos. I really wanted some photos of my bump, and I was basically saying just in case this is the last day, I want some photos of my bump on the last day and of Neo kissing my bump and stuff. So we did a little photo shoot and had all of that. But then it was just kind of a normal evening routine. You gave Neo a bath, you put him down, and at that point I
fell asleep at that point.
Yeah, so I think I got into bed, and that's when things kind of started ramping up a little bit, and I had to really start breathing through, I guess it was the beginning of surges or contractions. And then, did I message you to come in?
Or your mum maybe came got me. It was about 11:30.
Yeah, I remember basically...
I was woken up.
Yeah, around midnight-ish in my head was when you came in, and I was like, okay, I think things are happening.
Yeah, I could tell immediately. I was coming to terms to the fact, again, I'm not making it about me, but I was just coming to the terms that I was like, oh no, this is it. I'm not going to sleep again tonight. And I have to get just mentally prepare myself for a long night. A long magical night.
Yeah.
But I remember I was laying in bed with you, and were you trying to sleep at that point? I think you were trying to rest in between the surges.
That's what everyone says is when you first start feeling things, especially if it's nighttime, try to rest because you don't know how long it will be. It could be days. So as much sleep as you can get in the beginning bit, get it. And
then this was the whole thing, right? Because you had registered for a home birth, we were told. Did we? Oh, we spoke to someone on the home birth team that evening, didn't we?
Oh, it was the day before.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I was feeling something enough to call. Basically, the home birth team here in the UK, where we are in Brighton, there aren't really enough home birth midwives to guarantee that any time of day, whenever you go into labor, there will be someone available. So they basically say you should call and just check if there are people available, if there's people on duty. There could be 3 other births happening that day. So we called earlier in the day. I think part of me was like, just in case something happens tonight, I want to know, is there even a service on tonight?
Is it on?
And we called and were told that there wouldn't be a service. So there wouldn't be anyone on overnight until 7:30 a.m. the next day. But it was so mild at that point, I was like, I don't think anything's going to happen before 7:30 tomorrow anyway. So I feel like we're okay. But that was that was good for me to kind of know expectation-wise.
And then I think about 12:30, so it wasn't long after I'd come into the room, really. I think it got so intense that you were vomiting a little bit. It was like, I think it suddenly jumped up another level. And we called just to see what was going on. We called to see whether miraculously there was a home birth team on call, because I think had there been, I think we would have got them in then. Like if it had been during the day and that had been that kind of level of surge power.
Well, I think at least they say like just tell, if you explain to them what you're feeling, then they'll tell you if they're ready, like if you're ready for them to come. So we called and they were like, oh, actually there is a service on tonight, but there's 2 other births happening right now, so there isn't anyone available. And they were like, if you feel like you need to come in, you will need to come into the hospital. Like there just are no midwives available to come to you tonight. And
there's 2 local hospitals, and we had chosen the one that's a little bit further. It's about a 30-minute, 25-minute drive.
But it's more in the countryside and it's a bit more relaxed. That's where we had Neo as well. Yeah. So we basically kind of decided in that moment. And this is the whole thing planning up to this birth. I knew that I was dreaming of a home birth and that's what I wanted, but also I knew I had to be ready mentally in case this was going to be the case, that we would just get our bags and go. And I just didn't want to feel like such disappointment in the moment. I had to mentally prepare myself. So when that happened, honestly, I was like, all right, I guess it's meant to be this way.
Oh, let's go. They said there was a birthing pool available at the hospital.
Yes, that was really important to me. Yeah, I was like, if there's no pool available in that hospital, we would have gone to another hospital. So I was like, please let me know. Can they almost like hold it for us if we could be there really soon? So that was really good that I was going to at least get the water birth, hopefully. So
yeah, I think at that point we were starting to come to terms with, okay, maybe it's not going to be the home birth, but at least we can get the water birth.
Yeah.
And Raya had hospital bags at the ready, packed everything she needed. And I didn't have anything.
Yeah. And I had told him a couple days before, but nothing had been done.
I was still half asleep, so I ran downstairs and I was like, okay, if it's a water birth, maybe I need to get in the pool, who knows? Grab my swimming shorts. Then I grabbed my cameras because I was like, okay, I want to film it. And then I was just like, what else would I need that I might not to get to hospital? I was like, lots of snacks. Maybe we're in for a marathon. I don't know. Maybe it's a 2-day labour. So I literally grabbed our entire... We have like, for some reason in the kitchen, a bag of like 20 bags of crisps and chocolate bars and stuff. So I grabbed the entire snack bag.
Yeah, put my cameras a huge tote bag full of snacks.
Cameras, swimming trunks, literally nothing
else.
That's
it. No toothbrush, nothing.
No clothes.
Yeah. When I told you like go pack up a quick bag, I thought you would just do like some underwear and PJs and toothbrush.
I'm gonna say I wasn't in a panic, but I was definitely flustered at this point because I was like, we were kind of dragging our feet a little bit. I was like, I don't know, because we didn't go through the labour process with Neo. I didn't know how quickly things could escalate, and I didn't want to like have to deliver a baby in the car. Right, it's 1:45 on the 8th of August, and it is go time. 1:45 in the morning. We really wanted a home birth, but I think we're gonna have to go into hospital, so I'm staying calm. Raya's doing amazingly, and we're heading in now. You were going through, your pain levels were escalating a little bit because I remember having to drive more smoothly. We were going over bumps.
Every bump was, I was feeling it. And I would have to like really hold on when I was going through the surges or contractions.
Okay, we are 24 minutes from the hospital. Raya's doing amazingly. Yeah.
1,
2, 3, 4,
oh,
and out.
count fast.
2, 3, 4,
fuck.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Ah!
In 2, 3, 4.
Ah!
Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, wow.
We're 2 minutes away.
Ah!
You've got this one.
Ah! Oh! 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 Oh, wow. Okay.
Maybe we should progress to the other breath.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not even doing any breath. I'm just. Oh.
You're coping so well. Your body's designed to do this. You've got it. And then we got to the hospital, right? And the front doors didn't open. Do you remember that?
That was crazy.
It was like automatic door. I don't know whether they were closed or whether we just didn't trip the sensor, but I had to like prise the front doors open.
Yeah.
There was no one at reception.
There was no one anywhere.
It was about 1:30 in the morning at this point.
So we had to force the doors open to the hospital. We walk in, we're like, hello? And luckily we know where we're going because we'd gone there with Neo before. And we were just like walking through. We didn't see one person. We walked through the entire hospital, got on the elevator, got up to the top to the floor. We were like, is anyone here? Like, what is happening?
It was well signposted to the maternity ward, but yeah, I guess it's not, I guess they don't employ someone to sit at the front desk during the night.
I don't know. But anyway, we made it up there. And I had to stop, I remember on the way, like I would have to stop
Couple
anytime.
times.
Yeah. And just try to breathe through it.
And I think at this point, you were probably getting 2 surges or contractions every 10 minutes, I reckon.
Yeah.
So like every 5 to 6 minutes you were doing it, which is kind of getting close to the time that you want to be going into hospital or whatever.
Yeah. So we went into the pool room.
Good news, it is 1:25. The birthing pool is available and Raya's feeling okay. Everything's going to plan. Ish. Ideal would have been to have the baby at home, but I think this is the second best option.
Basically, they were like, do you want us to assess you and kind of see how far along you are? So I said yes. And
you got your blood pressure, they did
all the normal stuff.
Check the baby's heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, I've been losing my mucus plug for a few days before this. So anyway, that's something to note because that's coming up soon. Then we're gonna have a little check because if I'm really early on, dilation-wise, then I can go home, which would mean we could potentially make it till the morning. Because often when you come into hospital, it actually really slows your labor. So I don't want to just be laying here for.
So you're hoping you're not that far.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm like barely open. She's like, oh, go home. Take a pain relief and just try to sleep and wait till 7:30. That's my hope.
Okay.
So we were in the hospital getting all the normal checks, and then she's like, "Do you want me to see how far dilated you are?" And I said yes. And she checked and she was like, "So you're only 2 centimeters dilated at this point."
And 10 centimeters is fully dilated, right?
Yes.
People that don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really know, but.
So 2 centimeters is quite early on. And honestly, she said it could be hours or even potentially days. Especially a lot of people, like, things will slow down at night and then maybe you'll pick up again tomorrow. So she was like, you could stay here, but you could also go home if you want. I know that you were hoping for a home birth, so if you go home, you could still potentially have that.
And I do appreciate hospitals. Obviously, they're doing amazing life-saving stuff. Honestly, in the UK, I know the NHS is sometimes hit or miss, but with birthing and, like, pregnancy and stuff, like, it's amazing. But it is also very clinical, very sterile, like machines, beeping, fluorescent lights. It's not the most vibey, nurturing space, I think, to give birth. So we'd already talked about that. So yeah, that was the choice.
Yeah, I can
stay or go.
I can do a whole video potentially on my channel about why I chose to go for a home birth and stuff. But I think especially because I had a C-section with Neo and I really wanted. I wasn't necessarily planning a home birth with Neo, but I really wanted a vaginal birth. And as soon as I knew I couldn't have that, I felt like I had to like mourn this vision that I'd always had giving birth. And so I felt like I had to give so much of like what I wanted with the first one that this almost felt like a redemption for me, that I really wanted to go.
You should share at this point, before we continue the story, what your dream birth was. What did you envision? What was your birth plan?
On just as little intervention as possible. And again, I didn't even feel labor with Neo at all. And maybe that sounds crazy that I wanted to feel what it felt like, but I just feel like as a woman, as a mom, it's one of these like life gifts to experience. It just seems like the most magical, like euphoric experience, the moment of giving birth to your baby. And I watched so many home birth videos and pool birth videos, and the moment of like picking your baby up out of the pool.
Yeah, that's what she told me. She's like, I just want to be able to like pick up the baby and hold it to the chest. I was like, I mean, good luck, maybe. Who knows? But I love
that was the vision. I was like, I just kept picturing that moment over and over again. And I watched so many videos leading up to it and like was envisioning that happening. Which again, obviously could have happened in the hospital as well. But I think also, just to quickly say, because I'd had a C-section before, I'd had a lot of conversations leading up to this with people basically like listing all the reasons why having a VBAC or a vaginal birth after cesarean is dangerous, and all these reasons why they didn't think I should have a home birth. And I understand those people were coming from a good place. A lot of the people that were chatting to me about that, they spend their days dealing with complications. Like, that's their job. So all they see is kind of the complications and things going wrong. But I'd watched so many videos of VBACs, of home birth VBACs. I talked to the home birth midwives and they were like, we do them all the time. And I just really felt like I could do it, and I felt safe, and I educated myself on the potential risks, and I felt comfortable going for it. So,
and the main nearest hospital is like 10-15 minutes.
Exactly. Like, if anything actually were to go wrong in an ambulance, I would be there within 7 minutes. So anyway, when she said that I was only 2 centimeters, I think it was very quick for me to decide, let's just go home, because, you know, and if we have to come back in a few hours, we will. I'd already mentally accepted that I might have to be in hospital, but if the option is still there to go home. And also I know, and I've read so much, that once you go to hospital, a lot of times your labor stalls because you're not in a comfortable space anymore. So a lot of times if you are only a couple centimeters and you go to hospital, you might be stuck on that for like way longer than you would have been if you could go home and have the lights low and feel comfortable and cozy in your own bed. So yeah.
And I remember you saying like, okay, so I just need to like last through till 7:30 because that's when the home birth team are coming back online.
That was the news. So that was around 2 a.m. that we decided we were leaving the hospital. Okay. We've got 5 hours and 20 minutes until there's like more home birth midwives available. So let's try to make it. Okay, let's go before it comes.
Okay. See if we can make it to the car.
Yes. Yeah, from then I was like, all right, I've only got 5.5 hours. I can last until 7:30 until the home birth midwives are on. But right before I left the hospital, I went into the bathroom to pee, and I lost like a lot of my mucus plug. I'd been losing it for a while, but I feel like when that happened, it really was like, okay, I don't know if this is gonna like stall for a couple days now. I feel like it really is happening tonight. So yeah, we drove home again. It was a pretty brutal drive, but we made it home. I made it into bed, and again, I was like, I'm gonna try to rest as much as I can. It was about 2:30 now. I laid in bed. I was like hugging my pregnancy pillow, and at this point,
it was intense.
At this point, it was about 7 to 10 minutes between each surge. I'm going to use the word surges. If you've done hypnobirthing, it means contraction, but if some of you are also in that and you don't want to hear the word contraction, I'm going to use the word surge for you, okay? But if you don't know what I mean, that's what I mean. So anyway, it's about 7 to 10 minutes between each surge, and I would say it was about an hour and a half, I think, that I was able to last in bed, where I could kind of rest for like 5 minutes or so in between, and then I would have a surge, and then I could rest a little bit. And
I think it was closer to 5-6 minutes, honestly. I think even at that point.
But I think it still helped that I had that hour and a half, and you were able to rest a little bit next to me as well. It just gave us that little bit of like downtime before things really picked up. So yeah, it was about 4 a.m. and I woke, or kind of like stirred Louie up, and I was like, can you fill the bath?
Yeah, we've got to try something else.
Yeah, I was like, I think I need to go in the water. I know the water can just really ease your body, but also I know, again, because of how comfortable it can be in there, it can also stall things a little bit, which at that point I was like, okay, it's 4 a.m. I've got 3.5 hours to the home birth team. So if I can get in the bath, and if it can slow things down for like an extra hour or so, maybe you can push me to get to 7:30. I was just trying to get to 7:30.
She was like checking with me every 5 minutes, like, what time is it? What time is it?
How much time till 7:30?
She's like, how has it only been 5 minutes? But we were like using an app to kind of like
Raya app.
Yeah, to like log each surge, and then there was like a time of a little bit more calm in between, and then it's just like just being in the bath, trying to find a good position, using the shower head to pour water on Raya's back to soothe it, a little cup of water. What other things we were trying?
had the-
Cold flannel compresses. The fan was set up right beside the
Yeah,
bar.
I needed the fan on my face the whole time. I also had the combs.
Yeah.
So I would like squeeze the combs in my palms.
And amazingly, I think you'd taken like 2 paracetamol at like 1:30, but like there was no other pain relief at all at this point. And you were just an absolute trooper. Like it was just getting a lot. I think even before, I think even at like 4 a.m, 5 a.m, you were like, I don't know if I can push through to 7:30. I don't know if I can do it. And I was just like,
I feel like time was going so slow.
like, you can do it. You are doing it. Luckily, I'd watched some of the hypnobirthing course, so I knew how to encourage as much as I could. But I feel like at that point, you were kind of phasing in and out of like I remember you not being able to make decisions. So I was like, why don't you try getting on I was like, do you want to get on your all fours and try that position? You were like, I don't know.
It was hard. Obviously, the bath is such a confined space
Yeah.
as well. I didn't feel like I had much space to like switch up a lot.
I don't know why we didn't go straight into the birthing pool. I think it's because the birthing pool took about 45 minutes to set up and much harder to keep at temperature because we had to have a hose from the kitchen. And I think the bath was easier to let out some water, fill it up a bit more, get it exact level. So I thought the bath was a good interim place before getting into the birthing pool. Which comes
I kind of
later.
heard the pool is almost like it's there for the final stage, but before that, I mean, I'd imagine like I had the ball. I'd imagine like rocking on the ball. The people I've seen in videos, people do like so many different positions, and maybe I should have tried more. I kind of
like getting out the bath.
Trying. Maybe something would have felt good at different points, but I think I was just holding on to the fact that the surges were only 45 seconds to a minute, and then at that point I was stuck on like 5 minutes between each one for hours. So basically I knew I had a 5-minute break in between, and that's what I was holding on to. Each time it started, I was like, okay, I only need a certain number of breaths before it's over, and then I have a break again. And that was honestly, that was what was getting me through. I would like count how many breaths I was doing, and then I would just try to relax as much as I could. That's what they say in the hypnobirthing courses. If you go like green, yellow, red, if you go up to yellow during the surges, try to get yourself back to green as much as you can before the next one so that you never really have to get to the red. It's around 6 a.m. and there's an hour and a half left till the home birth midwives come on. And I remember feeling like every minute was so slow and I really just didn't know if I was gonna make it. But Louie was so amazing at just like keeping me focused and
I was counting her down. I was like, okay, only quarter of an hour left, whatever, 30 minutes left. And we made it to, I decided, because when we called the number for the home birth team, there was always we were always put on hold for like a bit of time. So I called at 7:15, got through to someone around 7:30, and then they were like, oh, we're gonna call the midwife, she's on call, and then she's gonna call you back. And I don't think she called us back for another 30 minutes.
Well, first, the person on the phone, she's like, oh, they usually don't come on until 8. I remember that.
And you were like, they said 7:30!
Yeah, I was in the bathtub. I was like, no, 7:30. And she's like, oh, okay, I think you're right. Let me just go call her. So then she called us back quite soon, but she was like, I need to make sure I have all my gear ready. So she's like, I'll probably be with you in about 40 minutes. And then I was like, oh no, because in my head I was like 7:30. Also, in the UK, I think it's the only country in the world where home birth midwives can bring gas and air, which is a form of pain relief. And in my head, as it was getting more and more intense with each surge, I was like, I'm gonna get gas and air at 7:30. I was like, 7:30, midwives, gas and air, that was keeping me going.
That's a funny story.
So anyway, when she was like, okay, I'm gonna try to get to you in 40 minutes, I was like, oh my gosh. And it was probably by that point, it was a bit past 7:30. So it was basically gonna be 8:30 that they were gonna arrive with the gas and air. And so it was like having to brace myself for another up to an hour of waiting. But I guess I did it.
And then they were like superheroes. They arrived, they're like, we're here. And I'm like, come quickly. We went upstairs. I started getting the birthing pool ready. Right, the home birth team have arrived. Just in time. Raya's barely coping with the pain. So I think she's gonna have some gas and air, but I'm gonna create this as a nice little birthing area for her. Let's do it. And they set up like a battle station downstairs on the dining room table. They had like equipment and things. They got their laptop out, they started doing things. And then the trainee, they had asked if we were happy to have a trainee nurse.
Yeah, that was interesting. So they were like, are you happy to have like a student midwife come? And I said yes, and then after that I thought about it, I was like, oh, is it gonna feel like really crowded, having lots of people there? But the woman that came was so incredible, and the main midwife was downstairs setting up, so it meant there was actually another person. And while you were setting up the pool, she was the one in the bathroom with me, and she was just like...
We like tag teamed.
Oh my gosh, just the softest energy. She's a mom, and she was just like, she was putting the compress in my head. It literally felt like this like motherly angel just came and was just so sweet.
And as soon as I saw that kind of feminine energy kick into action and see like how amazing it was to see like women like gathering around you, I was like, oh, like I can try and hold space and do my best, but it felt so much more natural seeing like, I don't know, you hear about like a group of women being the ones that are kind of like ushering in new life and the baby and stuff, and I just felt like it just made sense. Like seeing that, I was like, oh, like I'm doing my best, and you know it's fine. But I just thought, oh, this felt more like this is how it's supposed to be, you know. And then I was getting the pool ready. I felt like I was better at like, okay, this is my task. I've got to go and do this and this and this, and practical problem solving. I had to like get the right temperature. I was like feeding because we did that test run, I was like getting the water into the birthing pool, getting it inflated, everything. And then meanwhile, I think they had brought the gas and air up for you to use, right?
Yeah. And I don't know if I did it properly or not. I feel like I wasn't breathing into it enough. But
well, I saw you like pull it out your mouth when it was at the peak of your surge.
Yeah, so they say you're supposed to start right before. But then also something that very interesting that happened. As soon as they arrived, I feel like my body relaxed and I escalated very, very quickly.
Went into that next stage.
Yeah, I really think I was like holding out for them to arrive, and as soon as they did, everything got way more intense. I started like screaming involuntarily, like everything really.
And I hadn't warned the neighbours, and our windows were open, and this was like, by this point it's like 8:30 in the morning. I was like, maybe I should have dropped a message in the street chat, because it was...
Yeah, it sounded intense. Also, by the way, this whole time, Mia was asleep in bed, and my mom was in bed with him because we co-sleep with him, so if he wakes up in the middle of the night, he needs to know someone's next to him.
So good he didn't wake up.
I know, my mom said it the other night, because the last few nights he's been waking up and Louis had to go in, and imagine if he had woken up in the middle of it, like honestly something miraculous happened, that he fully slept through everything. Then he woke up and I think he could hear me a little bit, so my mom quickly like got him out the house and took him out on a long walk, which was just so great to know that he was taken care of and didn't have to worry about him. But yeah, so anyway, things were really escalating, and I think I was like, where is Louis? What's happening with the pool? And at this point, I really was like, I cannot do this anymore.
But this is the funniest bit, right? She was doing the gas and air, which up until this point, there'd been no pain relief, like a paracetamol. What's that going to do?
Yeah.
Gas and air, and then you had a surge, and then you were like, I don't feel any different. You were like...
I was so mad.
What is this? It was like,
I was like, this isn't working.
Yeah, you were expecting some miraculous pain relief.
Yeah,
and you were just like...
I was holding out for like, the gas and air is going to save me.
And if anything, it was worse, because then you started vomiting a lot, because it's like, I think sometimes that can trigger that. So anyway, our focus was, let's get...
Yeah, basically I like threw that away. I was like, okay, screw this. I'm not using this anymore.
Let's get you downstairs into the birthing pool, because it was clearly escalating. And you hadn't been checked for dilation since at like 1:30.
Yeah, so the last time I was checked, I was 2 centimeters. And I remember at this point, it was so intense. And I basically said to them, I was like, they were like, do you want us to check you? And I was like, I want you to check me. And if I am not close, I think I need to go to the hospital and like get an epidural or something. Yeah, I was like, I really don't know how much longer I can do this. So She kept on saying, I can't do it. And we were like, you're doing it. But in my brain, that was it. I was like, if they check me and I'm like 6 centimeters or something, I was like, I don't know if I can do any more of this, basically. So I waited for a surge to pass and then quickly tried to like get down the stairs. People were helping me like carry me down a little bit.
The pool was ready.
But right before the pool, I laid on the couch so they could check me. The midwife checked me, and I didn't hear what she said at all. She checked me.
You were zoning in and out during that time. Obviously, you're really in the midst of it all. So she had turned to me and said, "Oh yeah, she's good to go. She's fully dilated, ready.
But I didn't hear that. So I guess she checked me and then, I don't know, I didn't even think to ask. And then I basically like got up and got into the pool and I had a surge or two. And then I was like, how close am I? Am I ready? And she's like, oh, you're 10 centimeters, like you're ready.
And she changed position in the bath, she was like laying on her side and occasionally rolling over. But now it was like full like squat mode, holding onto the edge of the pool. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's the position you want to give birth in. Like it felt natural, like the gravity, and yeah, I was kind of like feeling like, okay, this is gonna happen soon. It's gonna happen quickly.
As soon as she said I was fully dilated, I feel like that gave me the confidence because I'd watched so many videos and stuff, and I knew that if you started pushing too early, then there was a higher chance of tearing and stuff. So as soon as she said I was 10 centimeters, I felt like that was like my permission to just let my body do what it needs to do. Like I'm ready to go. And look, for anyone that hasn't given birth, it is crazy. Like the last moments of the pushing, it really is like something else takes over your body, and I don't know how to explain it. It's just that's what I wanted to experience. There's no way for anyone to describe to you the feeling, and I just knew that it was like, I want to experience this in this lifetime, what it feels like to give birth. And
miraculous, crazy,
yes,
wild,
yes.
All of the above.
Breathe. I don't know. Breathe. You can do it. You're doing it. You're doing it.
She's coming.
So
they had a mirror under the water. So we were kind of gathering around the pool. Mirror under the water. I could see her head starting to crown and come out. And it just felt like it was a whirlwind. I was just like trying to be present, take it all in, but it was all so wild.
Yeah, and something took over me. I don't even know the sounds I was making, and I just pushed. And I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 pushes before her head came out. It didn't feel like long at all before her head came out. And I remember, I really want to rewatch a part of that video where you were like, I don't know if I'm ready.
Maybe we should watch just that last bit of the head.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to like hear the sounds I was making and all of that yet. But I remember Louis saying something about like, oh, like I can see her face, because her face was up. So you were looking down, seeing her face.
Oh wow! Oh my goodness! I can see her face, Raya. I can see her face. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Yeah.
And then once the head was out, I knew, I was like, okay, there's only a couple more pushes. That's what I kept seeing that in other people's birth videos, is saying like the head's the main thing to come out, and then a lot of times the body can come out in like 1 push. So I think, and again, it only took a few more pushes, and that feeling of the body coming out, it's like the greatest relief you could ever imagine. The only thing I can kind of equate it to is like, if you've been, imagine being constipated for like 9 months, and then it's like, you finally release, but it's that times 1,000,000. It's like everything you've been working towards, it's in 1 push. You just like feel it come out.
Yeah, she's here! She's here, Raya! She's here! Take her! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my goodness! Oh my god! It's the most incredible thing ever!
And then I like turned around and I got my moment of seeing her under the water, pull her up on my chest. And the incredible thing is, immediately, everything's done. All the surges, everything you've been feeling is just over, basically, as soon as the baby's out. And it's just, you just go into like pure bliss, magic.
Tears.
Oh, like I just...
And crazy thing is, she was like just so peaceful. Because experiencing and seeing Neo, like kind of like ripped out and with the C-section, it was like immediately startled and shocked. And it was the opposite for her. It was almost like she didn't know she'd come out the womb.
Her eyes were open and she was looking at me, and Louis was right here above me, so she was just looking at the two of us, so peaceful. And also in a lot of home birth vlogs I'd seen like the baby coming out, and then the midwives come and they have a towel and they're like rubbing the baby, and I don't know if that's to get the baby to cry or something, but I remember seeing that and thinking like, oh, I don't know if I like how like it feels quite intense.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. Like no one touched her or me or anything. They
Ages.
fully stayed back, and I was just, I guess they could see obviously that she was fine.
It was
So she
only
looking
it was
up.
only when they were like, oh, the water's cooling down a bit, and they got a towel wet and put that over her to keep like
yeah,
the water.
but that was like
10, 15 minutes
yeah.
later.
But it was just, I just held her, and again, there's no way to describe that feeling. That's the craziest thing that's ever happened.
Ever. That was the most amazing experience of my life.
Of your life.
Of your life. Of my life too. I didn't even do it. I was just a witness. I witnessed your power.
I think
Pure magic.
obviously the feeling of holding Neo for the first time was absolute magic as well. But it's the adrenaline, it's like everything that I just gone through, and then it's the peak. Like all of a sudden it's like, it's over, and it's just, she's right there in my hands. And I just remember crying, and I just could not believe. I still can't believe what happened, to be honest, but in that moment I was just like, oh, I did it. I cannot believe this happened.
And the other thing that was so amazing was being able to like naturally, like the placenta came out.
Oh yeah, that was really, so that about 10-15 minutes later, I was like, oh, so what do we do about the placenta? Because I know some people, I think you can like get I don't know if it's a shot or something that can help you take it out. Anyway, they were like, usually if you are getting out of the pool, maybe that gravity in the water can help pull it out, or you know, we'll see if it hasn't come out in a little while. And literally as they're saying this, I was like, oh, I think it's coming. And it literally, like, it was like one little contraction that just pushed out. And obviously it's so much easier. Like, you just pushed a baby out, and there's no bones or anything. It's almost like a little jellyfish, like, coming out. So it didn't hurt at all or anything. It was like, oh, okay, it's out. And that, too, I didn't even get to see my placenta with Neo, and it's such a magical thing that I, like, make organs when I...
And they also cut the cord pretty early on with Neo. Like, I think they let it go for a couple of minutes, but, like, this was so beautiful because, again, like, something you'd really wanted was to let the placenta completely, like, the cord completely go white. It wasn't pulsing anymore. All the nutrients had gone into her, and it's just, like...
And we got to, like, look at the placenta, like, they put it up next to me.
And then they clamped it, and I got to cut it again.
It was just, like... I am so proud of the birth I had with Neo, and it took a long time to process, but like I don't want this to negate the experience I had with him. And anyone that's had C-sections out there, like, it's so beautiful. You still grow a human, and he's healthy and he's perfect, and I'm so grateful for all of it, but I really feel like I got the redemption with this birth and all the things that I have been dreaming of for so long. I'm so grateful I got to experience with her. Yeah, I'm just so happy and grateful. Yeah, it was just such a beautiful experience, and the pushing stage was like so quick. They were surprised at how quick it was as well. And then they weighed her.
She was born at 10:24, so that was like basically a 10 from the fairly intense surges at midnight. It was like 10 hours, and it was probably only like 2 hours of that final stage of like really going for it.
But yeah, so the placenta came out, we waited. We were probably in the pool for an extra like 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And then, and my mom came back at this point. Louis' parents had come down, and they met up with my mom. They took Neo, and then she came back. So I feel like she walked in like just minutes after she was born. So she was able to be there and see her. So then I came out of the pool, and they quickly weighed her, and she was 9 pounds 11. Neo was 9 pounds 10. So I really thought she was going to be even smaller. Basically the same, but big babies. So when they realized that, they're like, whoa, with how fast you were pushing and how big she is, they checked me down there, and I didn't need any stitches, which is, I feel like, pretty incredible.
You had a tear, but it was like they suggested just allowing it to
and look, I'm 4 days postpartum, and it's definitely painful and it's healing, but just the fact that like it can heal by itself naturally without stitches is so incredible. And women's bodies are just pure magic. Everything they do, pregnancy, breastfeeding, everything. But to experience what my body went through for a vaginal birth, I'll never get over it.
And I just want to say, witnessing it all, obviously Raya was I'd never been more attracted to her than in that whole process of like what she's going through. It's pure, just like unbelievable. Again, I just haven't got the words. And also the team that came, so amazing. I'm so grateful for them. They literally, everything, they were so nurturing, the language they were using, just how it was so beautiful. It didn't feel at all like it was in a hospital, you know, drugs and machines. It was like so beautiful, and like it was like family was around us. It felt like that. It was just like,
it was such a beautiful experience. So yeah, and then obviously the best part about the home birth is that you're home after that. And so since then, it's just been like a really nurturing, we've been in the newborn bubble. And speaking of, she's been next door with my mom this whole time, but let's bring her in so you guys can quickly meet our little girl. We haven't even told you her name yet.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was good that we're waiting.
Okay. Is she awake?
She's woken up.
Oh, good.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Hey. I feel like we could make a whole nother video just in the last 4 days of like her first day. So let's not prolong this video anymore. But here she is. Do you want to announce her name?
So this is Navi Moon Cole.
Hello.
It took us, the name was so hard to figure out, but for any of you that have seen Avatar, that's where the inspiration came from. And then, you know, Neo's middle name is Earth, so we really wanted a middle name that went with that.
She's so tiny. I mean, not when you're giving birth to her, but
yeah, in relation to other newborns, she's not tiny.
when you have a toddler, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And maybe the next video will have like show you like Neo meeting her and
talk about going
this
from
next
1
phase,
to 2 and just what it's all been like. But
this is her. This is our baby girl.
Yeah.
Hi.
She's just woken up for a feed, so perfect timing.
Hello.
You want to have some milk? Yeah. You want to say hello to everyone. Thank you all so much for watching and for all the support over the last few months, all the comments and everything.
Yeah. Thanks for being part of this journey with us and following along, and
can't wait to for you to keep getting to know her.
Yeah.
Got many upcoming videos. Okay, should we go have some milk? Yeah.
Well.
Should we say bye-bye?
We'll see you in the next video. Don't know when we're going to upload. Obviously, we're in a bit of a wild transition right now, but if you haven't already, please subscribe to follow along. Yeah. And we will continue just sharing our amazing journey as a family, as whatever we end up doing. But there's lots coming up. Lots of amazing things coming up.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.